Piki ake ki tōku taumata me kura. He kei ho ki te taumata rā wa horangi. He rere whakariporipo nei tōku awarangi sikei. Ka pari aki uta ki Pātea. Ka pari aki uta ki Ōtoia. Ka pari aki uta ki Ōtara. Ka tatsu. Ki te hauhau nei e, ko Ngāti Hauiti e tuake nei. Katakataka, hue aha katakataka, hue aha katakate mātai, he kapa ki ngā whetū, he kapa ki te marama, he kapa ki te ata takurau kura kwariro, ki mihi a ranga haua kai hea koutou, wangaro nei, hia, ha, ha. Tēnā kua riro, kai pairo, ki te hunga o te kahurangi, kua oti atu, kua tau nei. Kua tū taki ana ngā pūga, rehua mau mahara ki a rātau, kua tai atu ki te pūtahitanga rehua ki te pō. He te rangai a mate, kai aku kamo, au e te haku ana kia koutou. Hoki atu rā, ki tērā e whakatau ki rā. Ki Hawaii ki nui, Hawaii ki roa, Hawaii ki pā mamau. A kāti aki ki reira, me tahuri nei tōku reo, ki tērā o te tauiwi, ki tōku kaupapa o te wā. The spirit of the soldier. I was your mate, the kid across the street, the med student at graduation, the mechanic in the corner garage, the baker who bought you bread, the gardener who cut your lawn, the clerk who sent your phone bill. I was an army private, a naval commander, an air force pilot. No man knows me, no name marks my tomb. I am the unknown soldier. I died fighting for a cause which I held to be just and the service of my land, that you and yours may go forth in freedom. Standing at the gates of my marae, Rata, I look up at the white marble slab. Pro Patria Mori. I feel te wairua te hoia, the spirit of the soldier rise within me. My shoulders feel burdened with the weight of those young men, not much older than myself, who had passed through these gates to fight for king and for country. Standing in the heart place of our memorial hall at Okura, the stage bordered by names of those who walked the same corridors as I do, who perished in combat. Nei rā te rere o ngā whakamiha kia koutou e ngauri o tū mātauenga. Koutou ngā hoia I whakapito ngoi ki te whawhai mo tō tātou whenua. To each of those soldiers who laid down his life in service of our country here in Gallipoli. I, standing here on the ground where they trod, I now perceive them with absolute admiration and reverence. More than ever, standing proudly on this battlefield of Gallipoli, where these and many others died for their countries, I feel the wairua o te hoia, the spirit of these unknown soldiers rising within me as I honour them, wherever they came from, whoever they fought for. Here in Gallipoli, I have experienced the journey that has brought me to feel so many different emotions, as I have followed the pathways of those men who fought for us. I have been enveloped in sorrow, passing through the many cemeteries or urupa over the past days. Passing through each urupa, it was near impossible to not have a tear shed. From the beginning to the end of our tours, there was a strong feeling of the wairua, the spirit of these men who were laying down in the soil, but who abide above on spiritual watch. We were blessed with the presence of beautiful birds' voices singing as we entered each urupa. Their sound echoed closely to the voices of our tui. The tui, so natural, so elegant, so adventuresome, a fitting symbol to associate with our men, a tohu, to acknowledge that they are lying in peace in the arms of God. To live in the hearts we leave behind is not to die. Visiting Anzac Cove was a very moving experience as I planted my feet in the sand and sea where this campaign had begun. And that's when I felt, at its most, the wairua rising within me. The mana of my country was felt as I paid homage to those who had bravely fought here and at tabletop. These were our battlefields, our shriners to glory and sacrifice. Standing there, I could hear the echoes of the warriors ringing in my ears. Wa komate, komate, kora, kora. Its power, its legacy lives on. It commands respect wherever it is chanted, as do those who wear the uniforms of their country with pride, fighting to maintain the freedoms many have given their lives for. As the representative for New Zealand youth, let me ask that we young New Zealanders listen to this war cry. Kamate, kamate. Will I die? Will I die? Kaora, kaora. Will I live? Will I live? From the warrior within. To not be afraid to show our prowess and our might. To seek the respect of those who have gone before. To fulfill their hopes and ensure they have not died in vain. That their spirit lives on in each of us. Each time we hear this call, wherever it may be, let it inspire us to follow in the footsteps of those brave soldiers who fought to the end, upholding the freedoms so that we, young people, do not take for granted the future they gave us. This year marks 100 years since the beginning of World War I. No one is alive in New Zealand who fought then. The horrors and heroism of the battlefield should never fade completely from our consciousness. They shouldn't be only remembered on monuments and marble plaques around the world. We should instead remember the spirit of sacrifice which characterized our fighting men. Let this not live on just in Anzac commemorations, but through our actions and aspirations to earn the same respect and honour so nobly earned on this soil. Today, I honour not only the memory of the New Zealanders who fought and died on this lonely spot, thousands of miles from home, but I also honour our brothers, the Australians, and pay tribute to the words of Mustafa Kemal Atatürk, the World War I Turkish leader who wrote, "Those heroes that shed their blood and lost their lives, you are now lying in the soil of a friendly country. Therefore rest in peace. There is no difference between the Johnnies and the Mehmets. To us, they lie side by side, here in this country of ours. You, the mothers who sent their sons from faraway countries, wipe away your tears. Your sons are now lying in our bosom and are at peace. After having lost their lives on this land, they have become our sons as well." At the beginning of my final year at school, I was a young man with little knowledge of the reality of Gallipoli. It was just a page in a history book, the subject of a poem we studied. I had no real understanding of the ultimate sacrifice so many young men of my age made, volunteering for an adventure from which they would never return. This experience has been overwhelming. Given the honour to speak on this sacred ground, representing not only myself, but also my whānau, my iwi, my kura, and overall, the young people of New Zealand. I will forever feel the spirit of these soldiers, true heroes, never to be forgotten. May their spirits fly in the peace of the sky. E te hunga wairua, e rere, i te rangi. Kia ora.